All right, here we go. Number 1. What's that? They're in the back. The one that's open. All right, so for number 1, remember that anything received is a positive. So we need to add all of these. So combine all of these. So it's 9 plus 6, 15 plus 2, that's 17. Carry 1. 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 1, that's 11. All right, so we got 117. Then plus, because we need to combine it, and sold are my negatives. Combine all of these. Over here. So we got 3 plus 1, that's 4, plus 3, that's 7, plus 1, that's 8, plus 4, that's 12. I got 1 to carry, so that's 2, 3, 6, 9, 10. So 117 plus 1 plus negative 102 is 15 video games left. 10Q. We good? All right. Go to number 2. Let me zoom in. For these, remember to distribute to both exponents. Distribute, that is m to the negative 4th, n to the 4th. Here is multiplication. Distribute, m to the 6th, n to the negative 6th. So let's see, m, same base. What happens to the exponents? They add. 6 minus 4, that's 2. Then we got n and n. Again, we add the exponents, so 4 minus 6, that's negative 2. Can we end up with a negative exponent? No, so therefore we send the n to the denominator, right? So this is n, and we change the power to a positive. This one stays in the numerator, and that's number 2. Good? Go to number 3. Number 3 says, simplify. Once again, anything that does not have an exponent, put a 1. 1, 1, 1, and 1. So like that, you know how that you need to distribute to each one of those exponents. So this is 3 to the 2nd, f to the 2nd, g to the 12, times, I'm indicating times because of parentheses, distribute, f to the 4th, g to the 4th. All right, 3 to the 2nd, let's simplify that. 3 to the 2nd is 3 times 3, which is 9. F to the 2nd and f to the 2nd and f to the 4th is f to the 6th. G to the 12th, g to the 4th, that's g to the 16th. So far so good? Do we need another one of those? Okay, let's go to number 4. Let's print it. It says, thank you, there are 6.02 times 10 to the 23 atoms in 1 gram of hydrogen. 1 gram. But they want us to find out how many in 600 grams. So we need to multiply this times 600. And I said that when we multiply it, to change it to scientific notation, right? So that means I need to change the 600 by placing an invisible decimal. It's right here. Does everybody see it? No, it's invisible. So now I'm going to place it. There it is. Now when we move it twice, 1, 2, so this is 6 times 10 to the 2nd. And we're going to multiply that times this, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Now that we have multiplication throughout, multiplication is the parentheses and also this and this. So that means we can multiply these as the same base. What happens to the exponents? They add 23 plus 2, that's 25, times. Now I'm going to multiply the 6.2 times the 6. So 6.02 times 6, that's 12, carry 1. 6 times 0, 0, bring down the 1, bring down the decimal. 6 times 6, that's 36. So this is 36.12. But they wanted a scientific notation. Is that scientific notation? No, we move the decimal over how many times? Once. If we move it over to the left once, we need to add 1. So this becomes 3.612 times 10 to the 26. However, what does it say at the end? Round to the 2 decimal place. Which is my 2 decimal place? The 1. This one, since it's not 5 or greater, it stays a 1, right? So this is 3.61 times 10 to the 26. And that's atoms in 600 grams of hydrogen. Hydrogen, 10Q. What number is hydrogen on the periodic table? Damn, you better know that one. It's 1. And what is the symbol? Let's go to number 5. Here we go. Number 5. I'm going to zoom in. This one, remember to place a 1 on whatever does not have an exponent. I want to start with the numerator. Distribute the exponent of 4 to both exponents, so that becomes 2 to the 4th, x to the 28th, over. Now I'm going to the denominator. 4 times 2 and 4 times 4. So this is x to the 8th, y to the 16th. All right, let's simplify this. 2 to the 4th is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2? 16. I'm done with that. Now I'm going to focus on the variables. Are these the same base? Yes, x and x. And then what happens to the exponents if we're dividing? Subtract. So this is x to the 20th. And what stays in the same place? This one, you just slide it over. This is y to the 16th. So far, so good? Okay. Yeah, this should be a piece of cake since we've been practicing this already for a couple of days, right? Let's go to number 6. On this one, simplify the expression. What did we say on these that we needed on the numerator? It needed to be 1. Do both of them have a 1? Yeah, so now all we have to worry about is writing it as a radical. So this one is a radical 64, and the index is 3. That tells me what number times itself 3 times give us 64. What is that number? 4. Bring down the plus. Radical 36, and this one, since it's a 2, we don't write it because we already know it's there. So what is square root of 36? 6. So what is 4 plus 6? 10. We good? Do we need another one of these? Another one of these? No? Okay, let's go to number 7. Simplify the expression. Here it goes. I start with the number. What is square root of 16? 4. So I'm done with 16. I'm going to go to the next one. As soon as I get started with the variables, remember to write the index outside. Because what happens to the exponents on the variables with the index? You divide. So what is 4 divided by 2? 2. So we're left with w to the 2nd. We're done with this one. Okay. Can we divide the 3 by 2? No, we end up with a fraction which ends up being a radical again. So in order to not do that, we need to rewrite this. This becomes z to the second times z to the first. Write the radical with the index. Now let's do that piece. What is 2 divided by 2? Z to the first, so we're done with this one. And what's the only thing left? Square root of z to the first. Yes? Do we need another one of those? Okay, let's move on. Let's go to number 8. Simplify. Make sure every time you distribute, do one at a time. I don't want you guys to draw them and then forget to multiply. So let's see. What is 4 times 4? 16. So that is a to the 16. What is 4 times 1? Divided by 2 is 2. So this is b to the second. To indicate that these are multiplying, you put a big multiplication sign. And what happens to the exponent and the index? You divide. What is 12 divided by 12? B to the first. So now let's simplify this. Are there any other a's? No. A to the 16th. And what is b to the second times b to the first? That's b to the third. So far, so good? Okay. Let's go to number 9. Okay, by now these should be like automatic. Like your parents probably wake you up and you're like, oh, polynomials. Right? All right, here we go. Let's write it in standard form. To write in standard form, we need to start identifying the degrees. What is the degree of this one? 1, because the exponent on the variable is 1. What is the degree of this one? 3, and the degree of this one? 0, because it doesn't have a variable. So if we rearrange it from highest to lowest degree, highest degree is this one, so we write negative 6x cubed, then this one plus 6x, and at the end plus 14. This is my standard form. Hands if you got that so far. Okay, good. Leading coefficient is the number of the first term that's multiplying the variable. Therefore, that is negative 6. So far, so good? Now, let's find out the name. We start with a degree. What's the highest degree, everyone? 3. So this is a cubic. Let's see how many terms. 1, 2, 3 terms. So this is a trinomial. Do we need another one of these? No. Let's move on to number 10. All right, it says subtract. Be careful with this one. Here it goes. Yesterday we did, the day before we did some with addition, right? All right, Orion's here. Let's get started. Yay. All right. However, is this one addition? No. So pay attention to this one. Look up, guys. Since it has a subtraction sign, what is the invisible number right here, everyone? 1. So this becomes a negative 1, and we need to distribute that inside. So this becomes negative 1e to the third. This one becomes negative 8e to the second. And this one becomes plus 3. Are we there so far? So we got rid of the parentheses on this one. Let's get rid of the parentheses on this one. What is the leading coefficient here, everyone? 1. Distribute. So we're left with 3e cubed and negative 1e squared. Okay. Are we there so far? Okay, let's combine. Is there another e cubed? Yes, right here. All right, so I write e cubed. So what is 3 minus 1? 2. Okay. Next, is there another e squared? Yes, right here. So I write e squared. What is negative 1 and negative 8? Negative 9. And then at the end, we just bring down the plus 3. Can we do anything else? No. We can't combine anything else because they have totally different exponents. They're totally different terms. Let's do another one of these. Yes? Okay. Example 10Q. See what I did there? 10Q. You guys see what it is? Okay, never mind. All right, I'm going to change this already. Yes? Copy this one. Example 10Q. Parentheses 6d cubed minus d squared, close parentheses, minus parentheses d cubed plus 8d squared minus 3. See if you can do that by yourself. All right, let's see what we got. We said that the leading coefficient here is what? Or the coefficient here is 1, so this becomes negative 1. Distribute, so this is negative 1d cubed, negative 8d squared, and positive 3. Are we there so far? What is the coefficient here? 1. So we distribute. This is 6d cubed and negative 1d squared. All right, let's see what we got. Is there another d cubed? Yes, right here. So I write it here, d cubed. So what is 6 minus 1? 5. All right, next. 1 and negative 1d squared and negative 8d squared. So I write d squared, negative 8 and negative 1, that's negative 9. And then we bring down the plus 3. Can we do anything else? No. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. All right, let's go to number 11. Multiply. All right, before we get started with these, look up, please. I want you to identify how many terms are inside of the parentheses. Let's see. One starts here and it ends here because we see the plus sign. That means another one just started and it ends there. So how many terms? 2. So that means this number is going to multiply first this term, and then it's going to multiply the second term. So I circle this, and I'm going to multiply here numbers with numbers, variables with variables. Okay? Here we go. Yes? Right. When we're multiplying variables of the same base, what happens to the exponents? You add. Okay? So here we go. But the numbers you don't add. We multiply the numbers. So, what is negative 6 times 3? Negative 18. What is x to the 6 times x to the 6? X to the 12, because we're adding the exponents, right? Next, what is the coefficient here of the second term? This one. What's invisible here? A 1. All right, so here we go. I'm going to multiply this one times that second term now. Numbers with numbers, variables with variables. What is negative 6 times 1? Negative 6. What is x to the 6 times x to the 5th? X to the 11th. And there's no other variable, but we have a variable here. All we do is bring it down, so this is y to the 3rd. Can we do anything else? No. Let's do another one of these just to make sure we got it. Ready? Copy this. Example, what was this? 11 cubed. All right. Let's do negative 2a parentheses times 3b squared minus a cubed b to the fourth. Let's see what you get for that. Give you some time. You got it? Let's see. How many terms inside? 1, 2 terms. Okay? So, times the first term. What is negative 2 times 3? Negative 6. What is a times b squared? Or is there another a here? No, we just write it like so. A and b squared. Are we there? Okay. Next, I'm going to multiply this 1 times the second term. What is the coefficient here? Negative 1. So let's see. What is negative 2 times negative 1? Positive 2. What is a times a cubed? A to the fourth, and then since there's no b over here, you just bring this one down, b to the fourth. Can we do anything else? No. We good? Do we need another one of these? No. Let's go to number 12. Okay, here we go. Look up. Notice on this one, it's all multiplication. Everything. Watch. When you have a number and a variable, it's multiplying. A variable and a variable, it's multiplying. Parentheses and parentheses is multiplying. So everything's multiplying, yes? Therefore, on these, we're going to focus on numbers times numbers, variables times variables. Yes? Here we go. Let's start with the 2/3. Is there another number? Yeah, what is that? 12. So we're going to focus on these two. So we have 2/3 times 12. How do we multiply those? By putting a what? 1 on the denominator. So what is 2 times 12? 24. And 3 times 1? 3. So what is 24 divided by 3? 8. So we're done with the numbers. Let's go with the variables. P squared. Is there another p somewhere? Yes, over here. So p squared times p squared is what? P to the fourth. There it is. All right. Next, y. Is there another y somewhere? Yes, right here. So therefore, we got y cubed times y cubed. And what is that? Y to the 6. All right. And lastly, we got z and z. So that becomes z to the 5th times z to the 4th, which is z to the what? 9th. How are we doing? Good? Let me give you another one of these. Yes? Do this next one. Stop that. do this next one by yourself. Remember, numbers times numbers, variables times variables. There it is. Copy that. Oh, wait. No, it's too similar. Hold on. Let me change the values. There you go. Ha, 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 ha. Parentheses, 2 9s. Daniel, what are you doing? 2 9s, p cubed, r squared. Open parentheses, r squared, z to the 5th. Close parentheses, open parentheses, 18p cubed, z to the 4th. Close parentheses. Do that one by yourself. See what you get. Ready? Go. Y'all ready? Okay, let's see. Numbers with numbers. 2 9s times 18. 2 9s times 18 over 1. That is 36 over 9, which is 4. So far, so good? Yeah. Next, p cubed times p cubed. That becomes p to the 6th. R squared times r squared. That becomes r to the 4th. And lastly, we got z to the 5th times z to the 4th, and that becomes z to the 9th. Hands if you got that. Okay, good. Yeah? Let's go to number 13. Yay, our favorite. This one says, use distributive property and area model. I'm going to start with distributive property. Here we go. So first of all, I need to rewrite this, yes? This becomes 4m minus 4 times 4m minus 4. Now we distribute. So I'm going to start with 4m times 4m. What is 4m to 4m? 16m squared. What is 4m times negative 4? Negative 16m. I'm done with that term times those two. Now the second term. Negative 4m times 4m. Negative 16m. Negative 4 times negative 4, that's positive 16. All right. Let's see. Is there another m squared anywhere? No, I bring that down. 16m squared. Is there another m? Yes, right here. You combine these two. So we write m. What is negative 16 and negative 16? Negative 32. And then at the end, you just bring down the plus 16, and we're done. That's using what? Distributive property. We're not done because now we need to do it what? Area model. So here you draw your rectangle. Rectangle. Oh, yeah, this one is a square. Damn, Leah in the house. 4m minus 4. Draw a line across. And then 4m minus 4. Draw a line down. Here we go. 4m times 4m, that's 16m squared. 4m times negative 4, that's negative 16m. Next, negative 4 times 4m, that gives me negative 16m. Negative 4 times negative 4, that's positive 16. Is there another m squared? No, bring that down. 16m squared. these, you draw your peanut. What is negative 16 to negative 16? That's negative 32m. And then you just bring down the plus 16. Did we get the same thing as that one? Yes. Now, some of you skipped showing me the work. Some of you just do this, and then you do that, and then you just show me one. No, I want to see you finish this completely and this completely. Do we need to know one of these? No. Okay, let's go to number 14. Number 14. Let me zoom out. All right, it says a rectangular garden. What kind of garden? Rectangular. So draw a rectangle. Yay. All right, there's the garden. Okay? And I'm going to label this. There it is, garden. Be nice. So, it says, the length is twice the width. What is my width? This one right here? Okay, so we're looking at it as in width and length, okay? So check this out. For right now, look up, please. This is our width. I'm going to put it inside with a small w, and this is our length, okay? Are we there? But they gave us measurements that says the length is twice its width. Do we know how much the width measures? No, so what can we label it? So label it X, but label it up here a little bit above where you wrote the W, up here somewhere. So if that is the width, the length is twice the width, what do we label this one? Okay, here it goes again. Twice the width. 2x. Okay? And notice where I place it. And you're saying, why did you write it there, Mr. Q? Because it says, is to be expanded on both sides, and they are increased by how much? 8. That means that I need to do what? Plus 8 and plus 8. Then it says, write the area. Do we know how to find the area? Look, it's the area model. Do you guys see it? Didn't we just do the area model earlier? All right, here we go. Look up, please. What is x times 2x? 2x squared. What is x times 8? Plus 8x. All right, I'm done with that one. I'm going with this one. What is 8 times 2x? 16x. And what is 8 times 8? Positive 64. Therefore, bring down the 2x squared. Draw your peanut. What is 16x plus 8x? Positive 24x, and then you just bring down the plus 64. However, they're asking for the what? Area. So you write area equals that in what? Units squared. That is correct. And so you're going to ask, Mr. Q, what if we forget to write the A or the unit squared? Minus 1 point. Do we need another one of these? No. Okay. You sure? Yes. Okay, let's go to number 14. Oh, let's go to 15. Let me zoom in. It says, solve and check your answer. Line down the equal sign. So for this one, look up. Remember when we got to these, I said, guys, if I was to cover this, would you know what to do from there? Yeah. Yes, which means we need to get rid of what? The 6. The 6 is dividing, so the inverse is to divide, to multiply times 6 both sides, times 6. So this becomes 9x plus 3 equals 48. And we know what to do from there, yes? Minus 3 minus 3. 9x equals 45. Divide by 9. X equals 5. Let's check our answer. Yes? Yes. All right, so we write 9x plus 3 over 6 equals 8. But now instead of x, I open up parentheses, and I substitute in the number 5, and all that equal to 8. So this is 45 plus 3 over 6 equal to 8. What is 45 plus 3? That's 48 over 6 equal to 8. What is 48 divided by 6? 8. 8 equals to 8. Did it work? Yes. Yeah. We good? Yeah. Do we need another one of those? No. Let's go to number 16. Yay, our favorite. Solve and name the properties. Here we go. So, what's our common denominator, everyone? 10. So we multiply everything times 10. Distribute. So we write 30 over 5x minus 10 over 2 equals negative 30. Sorry, I almost missed that negative. Negative 30 over 5 plus 10 over 2x. Be careful, guys. Look up. Look at this negative here. You can barely tell on your paper, right? Well, look at it. I'm pointing to it. The negative equal to negative 3/5. So be careful on your paper. Over here, I want you to write property. And the first one we use is distributive property. All right, let's move on. Let's simplify. What is 30 divided by 5? That's 6x. Negative 5 equals negative 30 divided by 5. That's negative 6 plus 5x. Is that a property? No, that was just simplifying, right? Yeah. Okay, line down the equal sign. Where do I start, everyone? Subtract 5x. Smallest variable. Subtract 5x. Since we subtracted, I'm going to write subtraction, property of equality. All right, so this is x minus 5 equals negative 6. What's my next step? Add 5, add 5. So x equals 2, negative 1. Don't forget the property, which is addition, property of equality. Does it say to check and to graph? No. No. Do we need another one of these? No. You want another one of those? No. Oh, social experiment. Number 17. Let's go to 17. Here it goes. It says, solve and name the properties also on this one. Here we go. Line down the equal sign. What is the first thing we do to each side, everyone? Distribute, distribute. So this is positive 455. Is that correct? Yeah. And then plus 400 and, no, actually it's 500. My bad. 525 equals 2. Then distribute, distribute. This is 14 times 4. That's very good. 56. U. And then negative 14 times 219. That's negative. No, 2,000. No, it's 3,000, yes? Yeah, 219 times 14, let's see, 36. I got 3, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 6, 16, 10, 3. Yes, 30, 66. So how's it good? All right, so let me erase this over here. What's our property? Let's write our properties as we're working these through. Property. Distributive property. All right, next. What do I do from there? Subtract 56u, subtract 56u. So it's subtraction property of equality. So we're left with what? 399u plus 525 equals negative 3,066. What do I do from there? Subtract 525, subtract 525. We're left with 399u equals negative 3591. Yeah? Is that correct? And that's subtraction. You don't have to rewrite it again. Just put two check marks that it's two of them. And what is our last step? Divide by 399. Divide by 399. And that leaves us with u equals negative whatever that is. Oh, and we divided division property of equality. And I'll wait for you guys to do the computation. Hurry up, please. Who's got it? Rafa, go. -9. Hands if you got that? That is correct. All right. Do we need another one of these? No. We're good. All right. Be nice. Okay, let's go to number 18. It says, the fuel for a chainsaw is mix of oil and gasoline. Look this up. Look, I want you guys to pay attention to this one. Look up. They mentioned two different items. What are the items? Oil and gas. Pay attention. You're going to miss it. So the first one they mention is the oil. The second one they mention is the gas. Because in that order is what corresponds to the proportion that they're giving us. So which one corresponds to the oil here? The 5. So right away you label it with the same color so you know that that's for the oil. And the 18 is for the gasoline. So let me read the problem really quick. So fuel for a chainsaw is a mix of oil and gasoline. The ratio in ounces of oil to gallons of gasoline is 5 to 18. Now, on the same token, look up, please. They give us two different measures. What are the measures that they give us? Gallons and ounces. Okay? So, how many ounces of oil? Yeah, ounces to gallons. I'm sorry, here it is. Ounces to gallons. Ounces to gallons. All right. So, with that said, let's write a ratio for this one. 5/18. We good? So for every 5 ounces of oil, we get how many gallons of gasoline? 18. And that is going to be equal. We're going to create a proportion. Check this out. This is where it gets tricky. Look up. There are 36 gallons of gasoline. So which one of these two is the gasoline? 18. So where am I going to place the 36? On the bottom, 36. Since we don't know what this one is, we're going to label it X. Do we know how to do these? Yes, cross multiply. We start with the variable. What is 18 times x? 18x equals to, what is 5 times 36? 180. So we solve, so divide by 18, divide by 18, x equals 10 what? Ounces of oil. 10Q. Another one of these?
No.
We good?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a simple one. We already saw this, but it's just like, hopefully it's coming back of what we did back then. Go to number 19. Already in number 19?
Yeah.
What? Bam, let's go. It says, what percent of 112 is 43? So right away, remember, is over of equals percent over 100. So who can give me the proportion? Let's see, Daniel Riesgo. Okay, can you give us a proportion?
X over 100 to...
X over 100 equal to...
Oh, yeah, that's 100 plus 100. No, 43 over 100. 43 over 112.
Hands if you agree with that? Yes, okay, and we know what to do from there. Cross multiply. This is 112x equals 4,300, because 43 times 100, that's 4,300. Line down the equal sign, and we divide by 112. Divide by 112. X equals, whatever that is, let's see, 4,300 divided by 112. 112 fits in there how many times? 3. So that becomes 336. Subtract, that leaves us with 94. Bring down the 0. Next, how many times does that fit in there? Let's try 8. 8 times 2 is 16. We got 1. 8 plus 1, that's 9. And 8. Is that correct? Yeah. So subtract that. That leaves us with 44. But they want us to round it to the nearest tenth. That means we need to add a decimal and a 0. Bring the decimal up here. All right, how many times does 112 fit into 440? 3. So that's 336. Subtract. That leaves us with 104. Add another 0. How many times does it fit into 1,040? 9. Let's see, 9 times 2 is 18. Got 1. 9 plus 1, that's 10. I got 1, that's 9 plus 1, that's 10. Subtract, that leaves us with 32. I'll stop right there because they want it to the nearest what? Tenth. So that becomes a what? 4. So this is 38.4%. We good? And the last, do we need another one of these? No. And the last one, number 20. There it goes. Line down the equal sign. I'm going to zoom in. What do? Minus 6 minus 6. Absolute value 6x minus 3 equal to 6. Do we have anything else outside the absolute value? No. So we write two equations, one negative and one positive. One negative 6, one positive 6. And we write whatever's inside the absolute value. 6x minus 3 equal to that. 6x minus 3 equal to that. Let's solve. Plus 3 plus 3. We have 6x equals negative 3. Divide by 6, divide by 6. X equals what? Negative 1/2. That is correct.
Oh, wait, I'll do the other one. Okay.
Plus 3 plus 3. 6x equals 9. Divide by 6, divide by 6. X equals 1 and what? 1/6? 1 and 1/6? 1 and 1/2. 1 and 1/2. All right, let's graph this. Negative half. Where's my negative half? Right there. And where's negative 1 and 1/2? 1 and 1/2 is about right there. So this is 1 and 1/2. And this one is negative 1/2. Am I done? No, our solution set. Solution set is negative 1/2, comma, 1 and 1/2. Now we're done. Let's see how that looks. Look how beautiful that looks. Yes? Be nice. All right? And we'll stop right there. So yesterday I uploaded numbers 21 through 33, and we did 34 and 35 in class. Yes, we did. And this is numbers 1 through 20, so I'm going to upload this at the end right now of tutoring. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your studying. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.